Have you ever walked past a building and noticed those huge, flat walls being lifted into place by a crane? Those are concrete panels, the quiet giants of modern construction. But have you ever stopped to wonder, how are those massive panels made? What goes into shaping something that strong, precise, and reliable? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain. You're about to see how concrete panels are made, from a pile of raw materials to the moment they stand tall on a construction site. Let's get into it right here on History of Simple Things. Before diving into the process, let's get something clear. Concrete panels aren't just slabs of gray stone. They're engineered building elements designed for strength, durability, and precision. There are different types. Some panels are precast, meaning they're made in a factory, transported, and installed later. Others are tilt-up panels, poured on site and lifted into position. Regardless of the method, these panels are used in schools, shopping malls, warehouses, even homes. But how do we go from wet concrete to towering walls? Let's start at the very beginning. Like anything in construction, it all begins with a blueprint. Engineers and architects work together to determine the size, shape, and strength of each panel. The design also includes details like window openings, door frames, utility access points, and any insulation that needs to go inside. They don't just sketch it out and wing it. Every detail is calculated. The type of concrete mix, the placement of steel reinforcements, and how the panel will be lifted into place. All of this is decided before a single drop of concrete is poured. Next up is the formwork, basically a mold. If the panels are precast, this happens in a controlled factory environment. Think of a giant baking pan, but instead of cookies, it's for a 20-ton concrete wall. These molds are made of steel or aluminum, depending on the panel design. Workers clean them thoroughly and spray a release agent, kind of like oiling a baking tray. This ensures the panel won't stick once it hardens. If the panel includes embedded features like conduits, electrical boxes, or insulation layers, those are positioned inside the mold at this stage. Concrete on its own is tough, but it doesn't handle tension very well. That's where reinforcement comes in, usually in the form of a steel rebar or mesh. These reinforcements are carefully laid inside the mold to match the engineering design. Sometimes, tensioned steel cables are added, especially in larger panels, to help resist cracking or bending once the panel is standing. This combination of concrete and steel gives panels the strength of a tank, but the flexibility to hold up under stress. Now comes the main event, pouring the concrete. But this isn't the same concrete you'd find in a backyard project. The mix is customized to ensure high strength, fast curing, and durability. It's poured slowly and evenly into the mold. Workers use tools like vibrators to eliminate air pockets, making sure the mixture settles properly around all the steel and embedded parts. This stage is all about precision. Uneven pouring or poor compaction can lead to weak spots, and when you're dealing with something that weighs several tons, that's the last thing you want. Once the concrete is poured, the surface gets smoothed and finished. Depending on the panel's purpose, workers might apply special textures, grooves, or colors. Some panels are even designed to look like brick, wood, or stone. You'd be surprised. What looks like an expensive architectural feature might just be a clever concrete finish. After that, it's time to let it cure. Curing is a crucial part of the process. Concrete doesn't dry, it cures. That means it undergoes a chemical reaction called hydration, which hardens it over time. In a factory, this process is carefully controlled. Humidity, temperature, and even airflow are monitored to ensure the concrete reaches its full strength. It usually takes about 24 hours for the panel to become strong enough to move, but full curing can take several weeks. Still, for most projects, that first day strength is enough to continue with the build. Once cured, it's time to move these massive panels. Embedded lifting anchors or loops are used to carefully hoist the panels out of the mold using a crane. If they're precast panels, they're loaded onto flatbed trucks and secured tightly. Transporting them is a delicate job. Any cracks or damage can compromise the panel's integrity. At the construction site, they're lifted again, swung into place, and attached to the building frame. Watching this happen is like seeing a giant jigsaw puzzle come together. Only each piece weighs 10 to 40 tons. Whether they're made in a factory or on site, quality control is constant. Technicians test the concrete mix, check the curing process, inspect the reinforcement layout, and look for surface defects or cracks. If a panel doesn't meet the standard, it's scrapped or repaired. No shortcuts allowed. After all, these panels often support multi-story buildings. There's no room for error. Once the panels are in place, crews seal the joints, add insulation where needed, and apply any final exterior finishes. Doors, windows, and utilities are installed next. And just like that, what was once a liquid mix of stone, water, and cement becomes a strong, weather-resistant, and surprisingly aesthetic part of a building's shell. So the next time you pass by a concrete wall, remember, it's not just a wall, it's the result of engineering, chemistry, craftsmanship, and a little bit of patience. From design to mold, from steel reinforcement to the final crane lift, concrete panels are a modern marvel hiding in plain sight. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.